Well, we're back again, YouTube. Here we are. I'm in the van. It's pretty dark in here because I like it that way. But I do got enough lights on in here to, at least I think I got it. Oh, here we go. Let's turn that light on. That's a little bit brighter. Not much, though. Well, when you're in these vans, you want to watch your lighting. You don't want them too strong. You want them kind of soft. You don't want to give yourself away or anything, especially when you're trying out new spots and stuff. But I've been reading a lot of the comments about what people have been leaving me. I guess you don't necessarily need to see me that clear. As long as you can hear my voice, that's all that matters, right? Well, anyway, I've been reading some comments, and people want to know a lot of things about how my van is set up and how I've been doing it. I have done everything on my own, everything I did on my own. I mean, I know the videos are gone that I had, but the only reason why a lot of that's like that, the reason why the videos are removed, is actually somebody got into my YouTube account and messed around on my YouTube account. And so there's a lot going on there, so I'm hoping that's fixed now. I've changed the password. Everything's been changed, so we'll see how things go. I don't know how they did that, but they did. But anyway, let's move on from there. And my TV there is the same. I'm running my 22-incher right there. But no, I'm sorry. That's 19. I'm going to be picking up a 22. I went from 15 to 19. I was going to go for 24, but 24 is not going to, it'll work, but I want to be careful, because if you sit too close to those things, it can give you a headache. But 22 is going to be my limit. I thought I was going to go 24, but I looked at them. I'm going to stay with 22. So I did have a 22. I gave that to my brother, but he is storing some stuff for me in his garage, and one of those things is my Mustang that I bought a while back, and he's keeping that in his garage. And like I said in one of my other videos, I run it through the gears when I get a chance, and lately I haven't been able to. After 10 months on this contract, well, things are going to change for me, because I'm going to go to Nashville, and I'm going to start driving the Rock and Country Star Singers buses, and then I'll just go from Nashville, and then that's gonna be a whole different story. But I'm gonna talk about that later when that happens. Right now it's just talk. We don't know for sure, but the contract I'm working on now is gonna be over in 10 months, and that's gonna be a lot of money put away for me in 10 months. I'm slamming it even harder than I ever have, because 10 months is 10 months, and then it's kind of funny that I'm watching Star Trek, especially when James, living in a van, James mentioned Star Trek one day. It's kind of funny now Star Trek's playing, but hopefully he'll see this video and he'll understand what I'm talking about. But, yeah, so we just never know what'll happen, but I'm going to shoot for the Nashville thing. We'll see what happens, but we'll talk about that when that happens. And what else? It's just late, and I'm trying to think of things. So this video, I'm not going to make any promises how this video turns out. I'm just kind of thinking here, some of the posts that I've been reading. And my microwave thing that I was going to put in the back over here, back there, well, I scratched that idea. I'm going to leave it where it's at, and focus on different things. I like doing electrical stuff. I like playing and adding electronics and that kind of stuff. It was bad enough. I have one of those clocks in here that I've had, boy, ever since I started living with in the van. It was one of the it was an AC/DC type clock, so I had it plugged into a cigarette lighter. Well, that damn thing finally went out on me last night, and no one likes to have a clock go out on them, and no one likes to be reaching for their cell phone every time you want to see what time it is to get up to go to work in the morning. But unfortunately, I'm going to have to do that until I can replace my clock. But anyway, I love talking to you guys and stuff. And it's somebody to talk to, kind of a nice audience for me. But I'm doing really well. I got to say I'm doing very well for myself, and you all know that I am. But it's all the van that has done this. Now, I'm going to say it. If it wasn't for the van life, I wouldn't have anything. I'm sorry, but I wouldn't have anything. And I'm not a guy that don't want anything. I want things. And that's why the van came into play. So I can have all the money and have that job that's going to throw all that money at me. And take benefit of it, because it's nothing lasts forever. And when we know that nothing lasts forever, especially certain jobs with a lot of the money coming in, that's really going to make you stable. Well, you know as well as I do, you want to stash all that you can, because when the end comes, you're set. You're good to go. Who cares? I can sit here on my nest egg for a long time and move on to the next. But the way I put my money away and the way I utilized it is I benefited it big time, because in 2 years I retire, and that's the end of it. And I pay my own retirement, and I'm done. And it's not about how much money I saved, it's about the compound interest that went with it. It really adds up over time, especially when you're slamming a lot of it away. And plus, I worked for the school district a few years back, so I've got PERS too. So I got that retirement waiting for me too. So that's waiting for me too. So there's a lot waiting for me when I end this venture. Will I ever end the venture? I don't know if I will or not. It's hard to want to go buy a house and be back on the grid again. I watch my brother with all his bills on his table, and he can't even keep up with them. But I will tell you this, I help family, I help him all the time. When he needs money, I'll give him money. And I help him out all the time. So, because that's what it's all about. If it's there, I'm going to give it to him no matter what. So I help him out all the time. And, but I know you guys, I do know I want to run through my van on another van video. I want to run through it so you can see how I actually did things. I'm actually going to open up cabinets, and I'm going to open up things. I'm going to show you how I did things. One guy said, well, that generator you got back there, how's it breathe? Well, that's kind of a no-brainer. How do you think it breathes? You have an intake and you have an exhaust. You open up ports. You don't want too big of an intake. You want more of an exhaust, because that prevents it from overheating. We all know this. And so, no, that thing is vented. It's also got its own cooling fan in there. Everything is fine in there. Don't worry about it. A lot of people do kind of worry about me a little bit. And hey, I like that. That's great. But I for some of those questions, I just can't believe some of the stuff I hear that is so... It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out how to do things. It's the simplest thing you can do, and the van living is the simplest life you can have. It's easy to do things. Your mind starts to create how to do different things, because you got that time in the van to, hey, I don't need this in the van. Get it out of here. I want this in the van. So as it's easier to set up a van as you live in it. You think, I'm going to set up my van, and then I'm going to go live in it. No. I did that with one of my other vans. And let me tell you what, half the shit I thought I needed was out the door. And as I lived in it, I thought, man, I don't need this. What was I thinking? Get this out of here. Get that out of there. And pretty soon I came with what I wanted. I left my bed. The fold-down bed, it's the real deal. It's the same bed that came with the van, but I did one thing. I made the job simple. You got people tearing their beds out and building new beds and frames. Why? I had one simple solution. Of course, this van's got a real long, big bed in it, so it worked. So I just went to Home Depot, picked up a piece of plywood, put a piece of like inner tube plastic over the couch, put the plywood on top of it, and then my memory foam all over the top. And now, excuse me on the memory foam, I had to kick that out of here, because memory foam is really stiff when it's cold. So screw the memory foam. So I went with basic 4-inch foam, 2 of them, for me, because I do like to, I like a harder bed than a softer bed. And then I just patted it and put my blankets and stuff on it, and I got me a real nice bed by just one sheet of plywood over the top of the bed, and that was the end of it. Bingo, I got a nice bed. I didn't have to tear anything out of there or nothing. So it worked great. The generator, yeah, simple, yeah. But my generator, I did some different wiring to. I wired the. When my generator runs, it's also running a battery charger that I built in the van, but I didn't make it exposed where you could see it. I got a little fancy and I actually built it into the interior wall of the van. So when the generator runs, it runs the battery charger to charge my auxiliary battery system. And it's also running all the other power in the van. So everything's being run and charged at the same time as the generator runs. So I always have full power. And I have a lot of amperage in this van. I got a lot of wattage, a lot of amperage. I mean, I can last forever in this thing if I wanted to, because the way I built it with the solar and the generator, and when the engine's running in the van. I didn't go with a battery isolator. I skipped that. I did it with solenoids, so I don't have to use real thick wiring. I use thinner wiring, and I get just as good of a current charge as the engine's running. So that's how I did my when the engine's running, to separate the ignition to the auxiliary. I use solenoids instead. It's greater on Chevys. Now, when you put an isolator on a Chevy engine, you really notice it in the alternator. Now, when you do it on the Ford, you don't notice anything, which is really weird. I gotta say, that's kind of weird. But on a Chevy wiring's just a little different. Everything's different on a Chevy, so you got to be really careful how you do your an isolator on it. That's why I oppose not to do an isolator on a Chevy. It just makes your engine start heavier. So I went with solenoids, which really and when you look at your needle for your alternator, it doesn't move. Now, if you went with an isolator in the Chevy, you'll see it move. It'll be like, boys, this thing can really can tell that it's charging some extra batteries. The Ford don't notice it, but the Chevys do, so I went with solenoids. But anyway, no, or you can just start your generator running an extension cord in your van into a power strip, and there you go. A lot of simple ways, but I just wanted to be more clean and more professional about how I did my my van, because I'm going to live in this thing, so I want it to be as home as I can. But I could just go on and talk about this, because the van has basically saved my life. This van, without it, I don't know, probably shacked up with somebody, living with somebody. I will tell you this, I wouldn't have this job. I wouldn't be able to bring my van into Portland and stay here. The traffic sucks. It's a nightmare to drive in. I would never commute in this kind of traffic, ever. Me, I'm at the workplace. I wake up in the morning, I go right on in, I get everything ready, and I'm out of here. I don't have to commute. I don't have to drive. I'm already here. Then on my days off, I get the hell out of here and go park someplace. But I feel sorry for the ones commuting. And so that was another thing about the van. It got me the job I wanted. And van life, I realize there's some jobs where the van life won't work so well. So you kind of got to look for the clean jobs. Janitorial, custodian, bus driver, truck driver, any kind of driving jobs. It kind of keeps you a little bit more cleaner. So your hygiene isn't constantly having to be, you know, your appearance is the big factor of the van, your job appearance. So I tended to stay with the clean job, to where I'm really not doing anything during the day to get real dirty and filthy. There's a few days you go 2 or 3 days without a shower, but I'm okay with here, because there are shower facilities, so I'm okay. But if there wasn't, then I'd be going to the truck stops, which I usually have. And I've also taken a shower in the van. Hell, this sink right here, look at that baby. That sucker right here goes all the way outside the van. And I just hit it, 5 gallons of water, take a bath if I have to, you know. So, but yeah, I do. I want to go through the van again and show you the sink and show you the stove, refrigerator, everything, and the way I wired it in. And I'm going to do that, and the videos can kind of get long. And when they do get long, I'll just have to post one and then post another one and post another one. I'll do that. It seems to really take a long time to upload these videos. when you're making them, and the minutes go by, like we're already at 15 minutes, and then pretty soon we're going to be at 20 minutes, you know, and I'm going to be rambling on. But excuse the rambling on. I'm just kind of, you know, talking to you tonight. But I do like the van, and there's so many of you guys out there in your van, and it's just taking care of your life. And I can go on about the housing and the apartments and what's behind all that, with the doctors and the lawyers owning all of that, making it hard with bringing in property management, making it hard on people that are making minimum frickin' wage, that can't even make a damn living because they're making everybody live together. That makes me so frickin' mad. I'm not going to get on the topic right now, but it's true. It's all true. And but the van has basically, oh, looks like my frickin' scramblers. No, I told you, every 2 frickin' hours that thing will jump off and jump back on again. So it's working pretty good. I love that scrambler. I will talk to you more about the scrambler. I know some of you out there, give me the model number. I want to know. I know, I'll get it for you. Don't worry, it's there. The Wi-Fi is simple. Go get that amped wireless Wi-Fi. Reaches 3 miles. And you can get it at electronic stores. Me, I'm fortunate. I'm in Portland, so I got Fry's Electronics, and I'm always in there. I'm always getting the next best thing, and I'm always upgrading. And I just put a router in here, which is really cool because now I can get on my phone and log onto my camera system on the van to see what's going on. Or I can lay in bed, and if I don't want to turn the monitor on, I can access the cameras on my phone and see what's going on outside me. I love the video cameras, and I will show you that again because I did some upgrades on the security camera system in the van, and I want you to see the video cameras, how they work. And yeah, I was using some backup cameras for a while, but I didn't like the lines in the, so you get some lines in there, but the lines do pay off because it gives you a distance how far that person is away from the van. You can get a distance factor there. Say, boy, that guy, he's right at my door. But I added some cameras. I think I got 8 cameras running in here now. Look, passenger door, out the window, looking at the door, looking at the passenger door. And then the back's got 2. One's recording over the generator all the time. And I added solar power to the DVR. Cool. Because when I leave this van, solar power takes over. And we all know solar power, when the solar power and the sun goes away, you got the auxiliary batteries doing the rest. So it's working really good. So I don't even have to touch the security. It's on 24/7. The refrigerator's on 24/7. And then I got a black, what is that? Yeah, it's a Black & Decker refrigerator, about a Walmart, 24/7 all the time. So that's great. But I do, and just pop in some questions for me. I love, I know I'll answer them. I know there's more out there that I'm missing, but I've been reading every post, and I'm really happy to see that you guys are watching my videos and enjoying them, because it's all about 100% van living, 100%. There's no scam behind it. This is 100% legit. I'm just saying, the people that want to live a long time in their van, there's your money. If you want to live 5 or 6 months in your van for a new car, well, there's your money. Get the new car, move out of the van, go back into your frickin' apartment, whatever. But the van can benefit you in so many different ways. It's unlimited of what it can do. And it works. And there's just so many things I want to say, and I'm running out a little bit of time because it takes a while to upload these videos. And but just let me know some stuff. I mean, you already are. I'm writing them down. But like I say, I love talking to you guys, and I'm glad to see that I've touched a lot of people that have moved into their van. That's nice. And like, I'm right here in Portland. You pass by here, you give me a holler. I've always got the phone on me. I always get the messages come through when somebody leaves a comment, so I'm always there. So somebody passes through Portland, come on by. Vancouver, Washington, right there. So I'm right here. I'm kind of stuck right between the two of them, so I'm like 5 minutes away from Washington. I'm right on the Oregon side, so I'm right there. I could use the company. It'd be great. You could check out my van. Check it out. And stuff. So ideas are always there. I'm always up to new ideas. I love to look at somebody's van and get ideas. You know, I always have ideas, and it's just I've had to use my own ideas to create what I wanted. But then sometimes somebody's got something better, and it's like, damn, why didn't I think of that? So it's nice. It's nice to see that. And so when I do watch other people living in their vans, I kind of look in the background. I'm looking in their van, and I'm seeing what's he got over there. Well, how's he doing that? Yeah, I'm checking it out. Yeah, you can count on it. I'm checking you out. So, but I'll keep posting. I'll post. I'm going to be posting a lot more videos this time. Last time I was always just working even harder than I am now. So I just didn't leave any videos. But this time I'm going to stay more in touch with everybody. So again, I hope to see. I will see you again soon, sooner than you think, because I'm going to run a video through this van, and we'll go from there. And we'll talk to you again. We'll talk to you again when I get the next video posted. So have a good one, YouTube, and we will see you soon.